Hello guys, my name is OnceByte and welcome back to Project Zero, or Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Now in the last episode, we changed to a new character and we are now in the hospital where the 5 girls that were spirited away were found the first time they were lost. Now, I actually don't know what we're supposed to be doing here. It just says find clues. And quite frankly, there ain't nowhere to go. Because this door, if I remember, is locked. Yeah. And I've investigated the whole of the entirety of upstairs. The elevator does not work. The doors over there are locked. The only other thing I can think of is going back to the room where that little girl was. Yeah, because I ain't even got like the blue meter thing that normally says, oh, wait. Oh, there was another room. Shit, I'm sure I wouldn't like surgery either, so fair play. There's more in here. This poor little girl had to get surgery. Because she had... what was it called? Moonlight syndrome? Something like that? Is this like her diary maybe? Diary pictures, yeah. They did surgery on me the other day. The other people who got the surgery didn't get better, so I said I didn't want the surgery. The doctor told me it's okay, since the surgery is all red inside my head and I don't like it. My hair fell out too, that made me cry, but when I cried there was blood in it. Tomorrow and the doctor say it's okay, my head is red and feels like it's melting, it hurts, don't like it. Hope the pain melts away soon. Wandering the corridor. I feel like... oh yeah, right, the surgery was unconsensual. Which makes... oh, another one of these dolls. We actually have all the notes for where these dolls are sat down now as well. There is always that. So technically I know where every single one of these dolls are. In smoking area. Is this whatever his name's assistant? Here we go. Flat iron key. Operation prep room. And we've got a map. That helps out quite a bit, I suppose. Oh, so that's the one downstairs. I thought that was going to be the one, the big brown door at the top here. I suppose we're going to the operational room. We're going to probably learn more about this little girl's surgery and probably how it went horribly. Oh, hi. I keep pressing the wrong button. Oh, I didn't even get the picture. Okay, thanks. Jeez. Right, lost my points there. Oh well. So, this is the prep room. Oh. Fuck you. Oh, something about the Rogetsu disappearances. We delve into the darkness behind the mysterious Rogetsu disappearances. 6 months have passed since the mass disappearances on Rogetsu Isle. With the investigation stalled, the incident is on the verge of being forgotten. But we have uncovered a sinister history that could be the key to solving the mystery. The bizarre illness of Moonlight Syndrome, we first focused our investigation on Moonlight Syndrome, a condition unique to Rogetsu Islands. According to the medical expert we contacted, is a type of amnesia with unusual additional symptoms. such as sleepwalking and sufferers acting as though possessed by some force. Folklorists familiar with the history of the islands say that this sickness has long been feared as a plague, so its reach clearly extends beyond the present day, instant into the island's oh, Jesus Christ. So its reach clearly extends beyond the present day, instant into the island's murky past. Legend also tells of a strange incident in which over half of the inhabitants of Rigetsu Isle vanished. What if Rigetsu disappearances were caused by the epidemic outbreak of Moonlight Syndrome? This island is surrounded by a vast ocean. One doesn't like to linger too long on the fate of those wandering outside, blissfully unaware of their surroundings. Oh, much better. Right. Some islands were opposed to turning to Brigetsu Kagura, a ceremony that was supposed to appease the souls of the dead, to a tourist attraction. Really. Could the real root of this bizarre case be the shallowness of those who tried to turn a sacred ceremony into a commercial spectacle? Quite possibly. Why is their faces on my screen? Why is that a thing? Except for the last witness, our only remaining lead was the last living witness to an incident, a young girl. Sadly, she died in the hospital several days ago. Reporters say she used her final breath to cry out for her mother. What did this poor girl see on that fateful day? The answer is unknown only to the now abandoned Rigetsu Isle. I feel like there is some creepy shit. There we go. That you might be able to see during idle time. Just me? Because I don't know what happened while I wasn't at my desk. But I sure as hell know it probably wasn't friendly. What are you doing? Yeah, I don't really want to reach out for this. What? Her hair. I presume a fatal frame isn't a thing for this one, is it? It's probably just down to how close you can get without being attacked. It looks like the max might be 800. Told the doctor I don't like it, it hurts. Tomorrow more surgery. Making me bad. Surgery. More surgery. Tomorrow more surgery. I don't like surgery, hurts. Hurts the surgery, it hurts. Oh. Poor girl. Oh, this makes it so much easier to search for stuff though. Post-mortem report. She died, yeah. Circumstances of death: condition deteriorated severely after second surgery procedure. Patient was tranquilized but suddenly became deranged during the night. Doctor provided immediate emergency treatment to no effect. Patient soon died after. Cause of death unknown. Possible death due to weakness brought on by sudden worsening of Moonlight Syndrome. Yeah, not the surgery. No. Yeah, no, and definitely had nothing to do with the surgery, did it? Dickhead. Okay, so with this at least, the flashlight makes it easier to sort of explore rather than using the look around, but in fact this is a lot more easier to navigate overall. What did I find out there? What's this? I've been observing cases of moonlight syndrome. The moment I first laid eyes on one of the patients, a ghastly thrill travelled up and down my spine. This syndrome is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and in this line of work I've seen more than my fair share of unusual and disturbing things. Moonlight syndrome presents symptoms of memory fragmentation along with deterioration of sense of self, resulting in destruction of the sufferer's personality. In advanced stages, it leads to total amnesia and unresponsiveness, and is ultimately fatal, but apparently most patients choose to end their own lives before the symptoms can progress to the final awful stages. Watching as these poor bastards have their memories taken away from them as they break down and are consumed little by little, it's horrible. One trembles at the sight. I wouldn't wish moonlight syndrome on my worst enemies. No one should have to feel themselves slip away into darkness. Seeing it for myself, I have renewed sense of urgency regarding my work here. Dr. Hibari is treating moonlight syndrome as a special kind of local epidemic disease, but he hasn't yet been able to grasp the nature of the condition or develop a reliable method of treatment or cure. His focus is on medication combined with surgical procedures and folk medicine as a means to combat this condition. I'll learn more details about the different kind of treatment tomorrow. I just hope one of them can be developed into a cure and we can finally wake these people from their nightmares. A small iron key. Into the reception I can finally go. Oops, sorry. What's that groaning about? That wall seems... Oh shit! I now see you're an asshole. Damn. Informant report, something is lying where the ghost disappeared. Associated with Habara Infirmary and want to make the truth known about the recent disappearances of those girls. As I was walking in the infirmary grounds, I heard some sounds of children's voice coming from the well. At first I thought I was hearing things, but the voices became more and more distinct. They weren't just crying as normal children do when they fall or lose their sight of their parents in a crowded place. It was an altogether more hollow, terrible sound. It's them, the girls who vanished, I'm sure of it. Can't keep quiet about this anymore. If you do not act now, it will be too late. Those girls will be consumed even as I write this. Oh, those girls are being consumed even as I'm writing this. I beg you, conduct a search of Habara Infirmary as soon as possible. Ah. So it was an informant that told us about where the little girls were. Is he real? Why did you not just call the elevator back up? Well, I at least... Do you mind? This is a good... This is another goddamn prank call, I swear to God. No. What letter? Oh. The informant. Oh shit. I keep pressing Y and it's not doing it. I thought there was like 6 of them. So the flashlight is like 10 times better than the... What's it called again? The camera. Not only does it do more damage, but it's like it's easier to charge up. And it also lets me navigate 7 times easier. There, you know. There should be a doll in here. Somewhere. Placing wooden card. Huh? What wooden card? Warning moon. At least like it's supposed to go in the panel somewhere, right? There it is. Told you there was one in here. Thank you. Took like 16 pictures of that thing and it once when I do it. Alright, I didn't go through here either, did I? Hiding something. So was it not him? I mean, was it not Ibarra that was the issue? I was the assistant that did all this shit. The days pass and our efforts to treat Moonlight Syndrome continue. Dr. Habara's treatment methods have shown some positive results, but they're starting to lose what basis they had in medical science and are increasingly muddled with superstition and folklore. It's putting more and more emphasis on his own ideas and the legends of the island. Frankly, I doubt the efficiency of such methods. I've never seen such treatment applied to a neurological condition. In particular, the Macabara apparatus he used are unlike everything I've ever seen used at any other hospitals. What I find more disturbing, though, is the bizarre terminology used in this hospital. These are not standard medical terms, for instances. Intermediate stage Moonlight Syndrome patients present symptoms where they fear their own reflection in mirrors or water. In the folklore of Regetsu Isle, the phenomenon is referred to as budding. The patients may be seeing their own faces reflected as something entirely different. Whatever the nature of this symptom, I wish they'd called it a hallucination or a phobia rather than use a proper medical term. This superstition budding word is used by the infirmary staff on a daily basis. Apparently patients who see a budded face visible only to themselves also bud. Then there's blossoming. I don't know the specification of this symptom, but I've seen the colour drain from people's faces at the mere mention of the word. From the sounds of it, I doubt it has anything to do with botany. They say that those who see the faces of people with severe case of Moonlight Syndrome resonate with them and become afflicted with the syndrome themselves. This budding? With the name for it? How is it even possible for a neurological condition to be transmitted? Before coming here, I wouldn't even have entertained such a possibility, but Moonlight Syndrome may be contagious. On top of all of this, I've been asked to make preparations for a rite to be held tomorrow. What kind of procedure it is? I don't know. How did it come to this? The whole affair has left me sick at heart. It's lit. It's a wrong thing. No, it's something he was hiding at his desk, no? Or somewhere. Is it in here? It was, wasn't it? Oh! I've got one of them already. I presume this next file is in here. Next file, not file. Next. What was it? One was the warning moon and one was something else. What's this? Passing by. Oh. Oh, that is a thing. Okay. Weird. Oh, this is office. Okay. Makes sense. Came from an esteemed lineage of head ceremonial priests bearing the honoured name of Habara. I am also the medicine man of this island, and as such have come face to face with this condition known in the modern vernacular as moonlight syndrome. In establishing an intuition to research and treat moonlight syndrome, I've exploited the benefits of medical science while still upholding the teachings of my ancestors. I believe it is my mission to research this baffling syndrome using a fusion of modern science and ancient tradition. Once the people of Regetsu Isle used their own means, befitting of their time, to delve into the nature of the mind and soul, the Masters of Kagura were one such means. By wearing the mask and hearing the music of the vessel loses herself. The organs and masks allow them to keep their beat steadily. The wearing of masks simulates various different parts of the human brain. This is a fascinating phenomenon that science alone cannot explain. Masks truly are a powerful method to explore the potential of the brain. They open a door for us to explore new territories. And so come to be the ancient No. The true form of Regetsu Kagura, the rite of descent. This rite provides us with a means to dive into the abyss of the mind. However, the rite of descent has been forbidden ever since it brought disaster to Regetsu Isle. The legends that tell of the disaster are terrifying, but in order to conquer Moonlight Syndrome, we must be brave enough to step over taboo boundaries. The moon eclipse is but once every 10 years. We cannot let this chance escape us. Time is a commodity we sadly lack. I was expecting a jump scare, if I'm honest with you. Search for traces of the director. Okay. Ah, another one. I found so many of these now. Just know that I know that they're in every single room. I'm actually looking out for them everywhere. So searching for the director now. Oh wait, this goes down, right? Which means this might be going into the area where where the girls were, right? He's slightly concerned at how this might go. Oh wait, buttons? Why? Press the buttons, bro. So I gotta find yet another way down there. I've already found 2 ways that you apparently can't go. Come on, bro. You're taking the piss now. Oh, another one of these. Right. Well, this is long enough, so I suppose I ought to end this here. Let me save real quick. Main thing being, we haven't got anything new in here. So I've got 125,000 points and nothing to spend them on. Sure, you know, buy these sunglasses, why not? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not... You ain't giving me something else to spend them on. Look at you, cool as fuck. Right. With that being said, this is where I'm going to end this episode. If you enjoyed, go down below, hit that subscribe button, the bell to be notified when I post. Any other games you'd like to see me play in the future? Drop those down in the comments, and I shall see yous in the next episode. See ya!